So this is a little awkward, but I care about you a lot, and I think it's just the best decision for me.
Welcome, everybody, to the 36th Annual San Ramon Chamber of Commerce Community Awards celebration. This is our first virtual celebration and hopefully our last. We have a lot of great recipients here tonight, and I do want to thank a few people in advance that have made this possible. First of all, we're at the beautiful studios of Jody Amos and Amos Productions. And Jody's been with us for the last 8 years, done a great job producing all of our videos, all of our celebrations, all of our business expos. Just a great partner. So thank you, Jody, for everything you do. Also, I want to thank Kathy Fanning. Kathy has done a tremendous job putting this production together along with Jody and his team. We have a few sponsors here, and this year has been a very difficult year, as you all can imagine. We really couldn't have done anything this year without the support of our fantastic chamber sponsors. Our largest sponsors are Chevron Corporation and Amos Productions. They're platinum sponsors of this year's event. Our gold sponsors are Sunset Bishop Ranch and the City of San Ramon. Our silver sponsor, thank you so much, Ann, the San Ramon Regional Medical Center, and our bronze sponsor, MCE. One other person I really want to thank tonight, I have mixed emotions about this. Mayor Clarkson's been here the last 10 years, helping us out with this event. And Bill, I hope you'll be here next year as well. And last but not least, our MC for tonight that has done this for the last 10 years, Terry Caney. Terry is the best, and we're so fortunate to have him. So thank you, Terry. Terry's the man. There you go.
Wow, thank you, Stuart. That's quite an introduction. 10 years. I can't believe it's been 10 years since I've been doing this. And I've only aged about 35 between that time. So Good evening. Well, good afternoon, right? Usually we hold this event like at about 6:30, 7 o'clock, where everybody's kind of on a Thursday evening, just getting, after work, and they're able to put their really good duds on, and they show up to the venue at Bridges, and everybody just has a good time. They put on their suit and tie and their fancy dresses, and they show up, and we have a couple hundred people, and we have a wonderful time, right? We have cocktail hour, we have musical performances, we have a wonderful dinner. Everything is just so fun. Well, this year it's a little bit different, Stu. So, but that's okay. We're going to go with it, and we're going to try our best to make do, because that's what we do, is we make do. So I am Terry Caney. I'll be your host for the next hour or so, as we recognize some of San Ramon's best. And I mean that literally and figuratively. We are recognizing some of the people who really make this community work. And so that's what we want to do tonight. And so it's interesting how, obviously we're in a different environment. We're in COVID, and it's interesting. It sucks for everybody. Let's just admit it. So when Kat Fanning, the wonderfully talented Kat Fanning, reached out to me and said, "Hey, will you do this again?" And I said, "Well, it's going to be different, right?" And she said, "Yeah, slightly." And I said, "Well, give me the dates. I'll check my calendar." And so I thumbed through my calendar a little bit, and I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I'll do it. I'm free for the next 3 months, right? I mean, who isn't, right?" So, but I thought, how are we going to do this in a way that kind of resembles what we normally do? How we gather people together, how we kind of liquor them up, we get them all primed and ready to just have a good time and eat a rubber chicken dinner, and then recognize some of the finest people in the community. So we said, well, why don't we just try to make it as close to the real thing as possible? So we're going to try. We are really going to try and do that as much as we can. So much like Stu, I want to thank Amos Productions. And so if you didn't know this, we are in the warm, lovely confines of the Amos Production Studio in Livermore. And it's wonderful. So we have this stage, and we have these bright lights, and it's really incredible. And we can't see anything but a camera, but that's okay. So hopefully you are all engaged in this, and we're going to try to have a little fun while we recognize some of San Ramon's finest. All right. So to make this normal, right? What a normal San Ramon Community Awards dinner gala would look like, we thought, well, let's honor some of the traditions that we've sort of set up. And one of those happens to be, let's see, how do I put this? Well, word got out that I enjoy dirty martinis. I don't know how, I don't know why, I don't know who, but it did. And so we said, well, let's see if we can sort of recreate that. And so what we would typically do, right, Stu, at a dinner is somebody from a chamber member or somebody from the audience would come up, and they would set a dirty martini, Grey Goose, by the way, on the podium, with sort of the unwritten expectation that I would somehow promote their business, because that's what we do at the chamber, right? We promote local business. It's how we roll. So I thought, well, how can we kind of recreate that? I don't have a person like Lucky Sandu, for example. Sandu can do, by the way, for all of your mortgage needs and all of your refinance needs, contact Lucky Sandu. Sandu can do. Reliance Financial, I think, is the. Anyway, Lucky, you didn't even give me a martini, and yet I still gave you a plug, so you owe me big time. So we thought, how are we going to do this? How are we going to recreate it? And we thought, you know what? Rather than give a plug to a local business, let's give a plug to the Chamber. Chamber of Commerce has been doing this for 36 years now, right, Stu? 36 years, almost as long as I've been alive. Anyway, so what we thought we would do is we would invite you to go to the fridge, Get your favorite beverage, whether it's a hot cocoa, whether it's a glass of tea, whether it's a sparkling soda, whatever your favorite beverage is, and we're going to toast the chamber to rein in sort of our community awards night and to acknowledge the chamber for the amazing work that they have done for the last 36 years. All right, so I invite you to do that. Stu, I would invite you to come on up too. And in the spirit of the Dirty Martini, this, by the way, is olive juice and soda water.
That's right.
Try it. Don't knock it until you try it, right, Stu?
That's right, Jerry.
Olive juice and soda water.
Absolutely.
So, and that's my story. I'm sticking to it. So this is a simulated Dirty Martini. Say it with me. Simulated Dirty Martini. So here is to 36 years of supporting business in our community and being a valuable member of our community, the San Ramon Chamber of Commerce. Cheers.
Thank
Salute.
you, Jerry.
Let's raise a glass to the chamber.
Cheers.
Wow, that is good soda water, Stu.
That is good. You
That's
really did yourself.
amazing soda water, Stu. Terrific. I can't believe it. 36 years the chamber has been around. I'm going to advance a slide here. Here we go. Yep, there we're good. Ironically, the same time that Mayor Bill Clarkson started his first term as mayor, 36, well, maybe not quite 36, but it does kind of feel that way, right? I mean, it probably does to you too, right, Bill? Anyway, we always typically try to poke a little bit of fun at our mayor, and he's been such a great sport. But seriously, I really want to acknowledge Bill Clarkson for the amazing job that he has done. He is being termed out, so he will no longer be the mayor of San Ramon, but we know that he will be a dedicated community member and will certainly be involved in so many various capacities. So I wanted to just give a shout out to our mayor for his tireless commitment to this community and for really making this community the highest priority that it should be. And who wouldn't want to live in San Ramon, right? So let's all, Stu, come on over, right? So Stu and I have been together for a while, so that's why we're not masking up right now. But we're going to raise a glass to the mayor of San Ramon. Bill Clarkson, here's to you. And Mr. Clarkson, mayor, is going to come and join us in just a moment to recognize one of our community award recipients. So cheers, Mayor Clarkson.
Thank you.
All right, Stu, where are we? Let's move on, shall we?
Yes.
All right, so 2020 has been a year like no other, right? And I'm sure that most of us are counting down the days for 2021. It's probably no surprise that Webster's Dictionary this year announced that its annual word of the year, pandemic. Understand it, get it, probably should be, right? But now I never thought in my lifetime that I would ever live through something like this. And raise your glass if you agree. I can see you through the camera, by the way. But this is just a year like none of us have ever experienced. And I just never thought that in my lifetime I would ever experience or live through a global pandemic. I mean, we've heard, you know, the words crop up from time to time when H1N1 or the swine flu came around, but not this. No way. I mean, this has just been unlike anything we've ever had to deal with. So what I want to do is to just kind of acknowledge the fact that we're all in the same boat, right? And that we're all trying to get through this as best we can. And we all have our ways of dealing and trying to cope with and navigate this pandemic, right? And hopefully there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So what I wanted to do is to just sort of think a little bit about what are some of the things that have gotten us through the last 9 months, right? So for me, I would say the two things, Stu, that have suffered most in our household has been my liver and my liquor cabinet, and that's no lie. But for others, right, it's different. And we all have our ways of navigating this pandemic. So I think in order to sort of create balance and to bring humor to an otherwise very gloomy, very dark kind of issue that we've all been dealing with. One of the things that has helped me get through this is the daily memes that I'm seeing, right? Whether on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, or I'm getting them through text messages. This has been an absolute lifesaver for me. So I just want to share with you, before we get into the awards and recognizing the amazing people that we're about to recognize, just some of my favorite memes, and hopefully you all can identify with a few of these as we go through these. So, of course, there are memes about the year 2020 and how we all can't wait for it to end, right? This is from Back to the Future, by the way, and I'm probably speaking to people who are fairly close to my age. So hopefully most of these slides you can identify with. And then there are lots of memes about liquor. Kind of a common theme when it comes to memes. Then you have memes about school. Right? You get to homeschool, we get to homeschool, everybody gets to homeschool. I love this little guy right here. SpongeBob jammies, the little bedhead going on, right? And don't you love how years doesn't have an apostrophe in it, right? If there's anybody who's ready for school to reopen, it's little Jimmy right here. Little Jimmy, don't worry, buddy. It's going to be fine. You're going to be good. Don't worry, it's coming. And then there are memes about liquor and school, right? I love this one. That stupid teacher doesn't know about math, history, or English. And I'm sure that I smelled vodka on her breath, even cheap vodka. And then her brother says, "Stop it, Carol. Mom's trying her best." That's my fave. I love that one. It's hard to do this when there's like nobody around. You're just kind of like, and then what about memes about Zoom, right? Zoom is a different environment that we're all trying to navigate. It's part of our everyday world now, right? So this is I Love Lucy, and I love starting from January, right? Because the COVID whole thing started back in March. Look at her expression in March. Now kind of fast forward to September. That's about right? I think that's about right. And then I love this one because I'm a big Brady Bunch guy. And if you haven't figured out already, I am a product of 70s television. Raise your hand if you're a product of 70s television, right? Everybody here in the studio is raising their hand. In fact, Mike and Carol Brady, this is the Brady Bunch, by the way, for those of you who may be millennials and not have an idea what this is. This is my wheelhouse right here. So Carol Brady is on the top center. Mike Brady is in the bottom center. They're the parents, by the way. Pretty much my adopted parents, I could honestly say, during the 70s, right? I lived on the Brady Bunch. I loved the Brady Bunch. I loved 70s television. So when it came to people who, other than my parents, who I loved dearly, who raised me, it was Mike and Carol Brady. It was Shirley Partridge. It was George and Louise Jefferson, right? Remember the Jeffersons? It was James and Florida Evans. Anyone? Good Times. Very good. Absolutely. Right? I lived on 70s TV. And so what I want to do now is just raise a glass to parents. Stu, let's raise a glass to parents. So whether they're real or imagined or they're 70s television parents, Stu, let's toast to parents, the real heroes during this pandemic. You've had to deal with stuff that you haven't had to deal with before. So here's to you. Awesome. All right, so let's move on, shall we? Let me get to a few other memes. There are the heartwarming memes about family and togetherness, right? Again, those of you who are born in the same kind of era, genre as me, recognize this photo. And those of you who have been isolated with family for the last 9 months can identify. This is The Shining, by the way. Must-see TV during a pandemic, but just be careful. And then there are memes about spirituality and creativity. And this is one that is particularly spiritual and creative, right? You have a baby being baptized via a super soaker. Not sure how Rome feels about that, but anyway. And then you have memes about financial hardship. Sorry, Bill Clarkson sent me this one. This apparently was his favorite, so I'll let you read it and kind of think about that for yourselves. But Bill wanted me to show this one. So Bill, this one's for you. And then, of course, there are memes about how painfully long this whole issue has been. And I'll leave you with this one. So keep sending your memes, and trust me when I say that we will get through this. All right. Okay, let's move on, shall we? We are going to now start the best part of this program, right? But before we do that, we are going to have a little bit of fun, and we're going to have a drawing, actually. So what I would like to do is, and if Stu, if you have the bag and we can draw the names out, is I want to reinforce the fact that being a chamber member has its privileges. So hopefully those of you who are logged in and registered for tonight's event are members of the Chamber of Commerce. And if you're not, I encourage you to do so, because it is a way for you to network. It is a way for you to get to know your community, unlike any other strategy you have, right? So please, if you're not a member of the Chamber, do so. And membership has its privileges. In fact, what we're going to do is we're going to give you one of those privileges right now. So those of you who are logged in tonight and who are chamber members and are part of the chamber directory, Kat, the lovely and talented Kat, what is your title now, Kat? Executive something or
events.
Director of events. Okay, I was going to say like vice president in charge of all good things for all people all the time kind of thing. But so Kat drew out 2 names. And what we're going to do is we're going to announce those names. And these are people who are both registered for tonight's event, and they are people or businesses who are active chamber members, right, in the directory. Right. So, Stu, why don't you do me a favor and why don't you go ahead and read the winners of. So our first prize drawing is for Black Hawk Restaurant and Bar. It's a gift certificate, right?
That's right.
I think it's for like $2,000.
It's a very substantial
Yeah, very
award.
substantial,
Yes,
very substantial.
absolutely.
So Stu, why don't you read that?
Okay, the first drawing, we drew these just a few minutes ago. Denise Pangeline from the San Ramon Valley Fire Protection District. Congratulations,
Yay.
Denise. We're looking
Wonderful.
forward to having dinner with you, so thank you so much.
Yeah, so Denise, you have to invite us all, right, to dinner at Black Hawk Restaurant and Bar, formerly known as
The Black Hawk Grill.
Black Hawk Grill, absolutely. So wonderful, Denise, San Ramon Valley Fire Protection District. And oh my gosh, all right, wonderful. 2 very well-known and amazing people in our community. This next one is for Gianni's Italian Bistro in San Ramon. And if you have not frequented Gianni's, you need to, because they are a big supporter of not only the Chamber, but the San Ramon Valley community,
Absolutely.
Right? So Stu, why don't you
And
tell
the
them who our
second winner
winners.
is Kathy Shiverton from the Discovery Counseling Center. Way to go, Kathy. And we're also looking forward to having dinner with you as well. So thank you, Kathy.
Absolutely. So Kathy, you and Ed need to invite us to Gianni's, and we'll bring the wine. Wonderful. So congratulations to our drawing winners. And now we are going to move on to the main event, Stu. Right? And we are going to start recognizing the people who need to be recognized. And these are our community awards recipients, people who have contributed to this community unlike any others. So our first award is the Ambassador of the Year. And I am going to turn the podium and the microphone over to you, Stu.
Thank you, Terry.
To announce and present our winner. And I'm going to take my this.
Take your cocktail.
Yes.
Thank you, Terry. Great job. Thank you so much. Well, as many of you know, our chamber is relatively small on the staff side. There's just Kathy and myself. And so we rely very heavily on a team of people called our ambassadors. And we have about 15 ambassadors that help us out through the course of the year with our events and fundraising and membership and things of that nature. And you do a spectacular job. Well, the volunteer this year, the Ambassador of the Year Award, this person I've known for about 12 years. When I first started, I was a member of the chamber before I started this position. She was the ambassador chair at that time. And that was about 12 years ago. When I accepted this position full time in January of 2010, she was the treasurer of the chamber. And at that time, we were going through some tough times, and she helped us dig us out of that hole that we were in. And she's done a great job. And since then, she's been a chairman of the board. She's been our, like I say, the treasurer. And this year, she was the ambassador chair again. And she has provided so much leadership, great humor, hard work. She's been in almost every event that I can think of for the last 12 years. So I'd like to award this year's award for the Ambassador of the Year to Laura Steinbeck. She's absolutely fantastic, and we'll have a few words from Laura right now. So thank you, Laura. Congratulations.
Thanks, Stu. I clearly have a host of support right here in the office. I'm very blessed. Thank you for thinking of me in this capacity and for this award. Certainly, we couldn't do it without you guys at the chamber. We're so grateful that you're here supporting small businesses, right? I'm a small business owner. We can't do it without you. We need you at the chamber. So thank you for Stu and Kat for keeping us going, for entertaining us and keeping us engaged, because in a time, to Terry's point, that just plain old sucks, continuing to have to be in business and market our businesses and be engaged has gotten harder, right? We all hate Zoom a little more today than we did when this all started, but they've made it fun and they've kept it interesting. And I'm so grateful to have been a chamber member since 2006, since moving to California. So very grateful to the chamber and to all of my fellow ambassadors. They're awesome. I have an awesome crew of people I get to help serve with. And so can't do it without their support as well. So thank you all so much, and stay well and Merry Christmas almost.
Laura, thank you. It's so good to see you. I think you were board president when I was on the board for the chamber. Just an amazing guy. Amazing guy. So let's raise a glass. Laura Simon. Laura, thank you for all that you do for this community. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. All right. Okay. Simulated martini, by the way. Okay. Congratulations, Laura. That is wonderful. So we are going to move on now to Business Person of the Year. And to present that award, I would like to welcome, not to the podium, but to the microphone, to the Zoom call, Brenda Livingston with Chevron. Brenda?
Hey, Terry, thank you so much. Hi, everybody. It's great to be here. On behalf of Chevron, we are very proud to be a platinum sponsor once again of the Chamber's annual Business and Community Award celebration and recognizing such outstanding citizens of this great city. I'm Brenda Livingston, like Terry said already. I'm the Corporate Affairs Manager for our fuels and lubricants businesses in the US, Mexico, and Latin America. Many of you probably know Juliet Dawn, who is one of the amazing members on our team and might be on the call today. Hi, Juliet. So I'm proud to say I am a chamber board member, and being a resident of San Ramon for over 8 years, 8 wonderful years, I get the privilege of living, working, and playing in this wonderful community every day. All of it from home these days, as we've been talking about. The same as many of the employees that and their families who in normal times work at our headquarters off of Bollinger Canyon Road. And these days are working, a lot of us working from home, just like I am today. As Terry said, these have indeed been extraordinary times that are far from normal. very challenging for so many, and our hearts go out to all affected by COVID-19 and its related impacts. Along with providing the essential products and services you've come to rely on from our Chevron and Texaco brands and stations in the area, we have been very mindful of the toll the pandemic has taken on our communities where we operate. And in fact, Chevron has donated close to $33 million so far this year to COVID-19 response and relief globally, and over $6 million in the US alone. But that's enough about the pandemic for me. Let's get on to celebrating. I am very honored to be recognizing San Ramon's Business Person of the Year, John Lingell. For those of you that don't know John, he is a senior enterprise account executive with Comcast Business. John, along with his wife Victoria, daughter Becca, and son Nick, have been, in his words, proud and happy San Ramon residents for over 17 years, since 2003, living, working, and playing like we have been as well. He first fell in love with San Ramon when his aunt and uncle moved here way back in the 80s, and on his visits would dream of the day he could raise his family here. In the 90s, he worked in the Tri-Cities at Dublin Good Guys, and he also trained with his California Army National Guard unit at Camp Parks, and his appreciation of the Tri-Valley continued to grow. John has been very involved in the community. He is a former Cub Master in San Ramon and a volunteer with Girl Scouts. His son Nick has achieved his Eagle Scout, and his daughter Becca her Silver Scout awards. John's greatest memories of raising a family here include his years coaching soccer with the San Ramon Soccer Club, as well as training with his son at Mock Martial Arts, where he is presently working towards his third-degree black belt. Very impressive. Along with being a San Ramon Chamber member, John has built and grown his business relationships in the region as a business development professional and sales executive in many industries. His impressive resume includes experience with the dental industry, with Microdental Labs, marketing and advertising with R.W. Lynch, wireless solutions with Sprint, and now with Comcast Business in Enterprise Solutions for nearly 5 years. In his current role, John reinforces that his focus is on delivering best-in-class network, data, and voice technology solutions that meet the ever-evolving needs of businesses. His focus is to enable organizations to be more profitable, agile, and competitive. He really enjoys collaborating with his business leaders and clients to deploy solutions that greatly improve employee productivity and enhance the customer experience and grow his customers' businesses, which has become ever more important in times like this. John, thank you for your outstanding contributions and involvement in San Ramon and loving this community as much as the rest of us do. In a nutshell, you are being recognized as San Ramon's Business Person of the Year for 3 very important reasons: for your significant contributions to the economic vitality of the San Ramon business community, for your demonstrated innovation, creativity, and professionalism, and for the way you continue to be a role model for others, sharing your time, resources, advice, and being highly ethical. So everyone, please join me in congratulating John on his Business Person of the Year award.
Thank you so much, Brenda. That was an amazing introduction, and thank you and Chevron for all you do for San Ramon. Also want to give a shout out to Stuart and Kathy, such phenomenal partners here in San Ramon. Comcast just could not ask for a better partnership. Tri-Valley has been such a great home to us, San Ramon. We live right near Country Club School, and every day we just appreciate everything this area provides. The Chamber Board, thank you again for this honor. I mean, this is just unbelievable. And the entire business community of San Ramon for opening your hearts to me as a business partner and to Comcast as your solutions provider. Jody, great job as always with the production quality here. And just want to say thank you to my awesome team at Comcast. I'm just about to hit my 5-year anniversary, and they brought me in and allowed me to grow and achieve new heights. And here in San Ramon and in the Tri-Valley, I couldn't ask for anything better. So thank you all so much, and cheers to San Ramon. Let's get through COVID and have an amazing 2021 together.
Yes. Cheers, John, and congratulations, my friend. Loves me some Comcast, absolutely. And thank you, Brenda. Thank you, Chevron, for being a platinum sponsor. So cheers to John. Raise a glass. Our business person of the year. And again, thank you to Chevron for being a platinum sponsor. I tried to use my Chevron card on the way here, by the way, but all it did was give me gas. Sorry. I have to use that joke every now and then. Every now and then I got to pull it out of the pocket. All right. Next up, we have our Green Company of the Year. And to present our award, I would like to invite to the Zoom call Harut Hagopian with Sunset Bishop Ranch. Harut?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Terry. I am enjoying all of your jokes, by the way. My name is Harut Hagopian. I'm the general manager of Sunset Development Company. Many of you know us. We're the owners and operators of Bishop Ranch and the city center at Bishop Ranch. And we're trying to do everything that we can to give the community some reprieve from all of this COVID at the retail center to the extent that it's possible to do safely and to be able to enjoy the holidays, we hope. I am extremely proud also to be affiliated with the Chamber for many years and also to be a sponsor. And I'm especially excited to present this award to Republic Services and Tim Argenti. Tim and Bishop Ranch have had a long-standing relationship that goes back about 20 years. And Republic Services and Tim have helped us immensely in our implementation of our programs and continually increasing our diversion rates year over year. So we're very thankful for that. Although I've only been with Sunset Development Company at Bishop Ranch for a little over 6 years, I have gotten to know Tim, and I would say that from a personal perspective, he is a very kind and decent person and an individual that anyone would be proud to call a friend. From a professional perspective, the Republic Services team, they have great integrity. They always do what they say, and they're extremely community conscious and environmentally conscious. And in fact, they've made significant commitments to earth-friendly practices in their daily activity and operations. They have composted approximately 15,000 tons of green waste from city of San Ramon, which is converted for beneficial reuse. So about 23,000 tons of solid waste are received at the Vasco Road from the city of San Ramon. And to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and methane gas created by the waste, it's all captured and used to generate 4.3 megawatts of electricity. And they've done this at a great expense. They've invested over $13 million in a waste to energy plant, and that electricity is then deployed and provided to various local municipalities. And it's because of all this that I'm very excited to present this award, the Green Company of the Year Award, to Tim Argenti of Republic Services. Congratulations, Tim.
Okay, hello everybody. I had to unmute. Thank you, Brooke, for that wonderful introduction. It makes me feel good to hear that, because what I've learned over the years is that it's all about building relationships and getting to know the people you're working with. And I've had the good fortune of working in the city of San Ramon for many years, back to the 1980s. As a matter of fact, I remember looking at some compactors at Bishop Ranch to start compacting cardboard and paper products back in the 80s. I'd like to thank the Chamber and Stuart and Kat, who I've got to know really well over the years. Also congratulate our other recipients. Everyone is very high quality, and I'm honored to be in their company. As Farouk had mentioned about Republic Services, we have made some significant commitments to sustainable practices and reducing greenhouse gas emissions. In addition to what he had mentioned, I'd just like to point out a couple of others. That is, we put our first electric garbage truck on the road about 3 weeks ago to test it out. So we'll be soon rolling it out across the country, based upon the test driving and test runs that we do. But we're looking to get all electric at some point in the future. We also have been recycling up to 60 tons a day of commercial food waste in a partnership with East Bay Municipal Utility District to compost the food in their digesters and generate energy. So another item that will be coming out of the waste stream. And another example of us, we have the capacity, being a big company like we are, to make these major investments. And we're glad of it, but it all comes down to our business is built on relationships in all of our communities. And I have a special place in San Ramon. I want to congratulate Bill Clarkson on a great tenure. And as mayor, I've enjoyed working with you and the other council members. And I look forward to working with you into the future. As I thought about yesterday, and Terry, maybe you can use this for later for you, because while it's a new year for us with the COVID, your jokes are still old, and it's like Groundhog Day every time I hear you tell jokes. But getting older is like a roll of toilet paper. The older you get, the faster it goes, right? The closer to the end it gets, the faster it goes. But I'll leave you with that wonderful joke, and thanks again for the recognition. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Tim, and thank you to Republic Services for all the work that you do in our community and beyond. And Tim, you gotta do something about that joke. When it comes to toilet paper, I know Tim, believe me. And you ask him about toilet paper, that guy doesn't have a square to spare, believe me. But I love you, man. Seriously, I love you. So thank you to the Green Company of the Year, Republic Services. Let's raise our glasses to them. And by the way, Tim, if you are worried about, I won't say greenhouse, but gas emissions, stop by my house, because my son has issues, and I'm not even kidding. But you could just do a drive-by and see what you can figure out, and we'll work through that together. So, Tim, congratulations, my friend. Very well deserved. All right, let's move on to Educator of the Year. And to present our well-deserved recipient this year is our very own illustrious Mayor of San Ramon. Please welcome Bill Clarkson. Bill?
Thank you, Terry. And I want to congratulate Stu Bambino and the Chamber of Commerce. These are tough times in lots of ways, and I really appreciate all the work you and especially Kathy Fanny has done to put together a wonderful program and for allow us in these tough times to recognize the citizens and the residents and the workers of San Ramon who really come through for us. I've also got to say that beginning of this program, there was a slideshow showing a lot of old pictures from the early 1980s. And I had moved here to San Ramon in 1978, long before it was a city. And the interesting part for me was all the people who I recognized in those slides It looked so young back then, and interesting how times have gone by, nearly 40 years. But today, I get the really amazing opportunity to introduce to those who haven't yet been watching the Mayor's Breakfast, to introduce you to Dr. Patrick Joseph. And I'll talk about him professionally, but I'll also have a personal note that I want to talk about Dr. Joseph. He is an amazing man. It's been a real honor to have an opportunity to get to know him. Although I have to say, we've had 9 months of doing Mayor's Breakfast together, Dr. Joseph, and yet we've never personally met each other. And I look forward to the day that we can actually get together and meet, because you are truly a hero both to our community and also to me. And I appreciate everything you've done for us. Professionally, Dr. Joseph is an associate clinical professor of medicine at the University of California at San Francisco and a past president of the National Foundation of Infectious Diseases. He did his specialty training in infectious diseases and laboratory medicine at the University of California in San Francisco for the past 35 years and has been actively involved in infectious disease in the Infectious Disease Society of America and the National Foundation for Infectious Diseases. He continues to do clinical research and maintains a private practice in infectious diseases and international health here in San Ramon. He divides his professional time between teaching clinical infectious disease and directing hospital and infection prevention at San Ramon Regional Medical Center and serving as a laboratory director for 3 laboratories specializing in molecular diagnosis for oncology, transplant, immunology, and emerging infectious diseases. He has published over 70 articles in the medical literature, has given countless lectures, served on several national and international committees. And he has been the recipient of numerous awards and honorary fellows, including the IDSA Citation Award for Lifetime Achievement in Infectious Diseases. Now, that's his professional side. I got to tell you that Dr. Joseph has been, and he's been on the Mayor's Breakfast, I think 16 times over the last 9 months, giving updates to the residents on COVID-19. And he has single-handedly, in my opinion, helped educate our community on all the issues revolving around this virus. He has a thoughtful and reassuring demeanor and has helped our residents in their approach to protecting their families and their businesses from this virus with his common sense, straightforward explanations of what's going on. I've got to say that we hear national speakers talk about this disease, but nobody has clearly outlined in both layman language, but also specifically talking about the science of this disease and how it affects people and how masks work and how different processes are important to do in ways that make sense for us. He has been a clear messenger of facts. He has helped us all navigate these difficult times as we are besieged by opinions and slanted news many times. And for all these reasons and more, Dr. Joseph has earned this recognition as Educator of the Year, and it is my honor to introduce Dr. Patrick Joseph.
Well, Mr. Mayor, thank you so very much. What a lovely introduction. I must admit that it has been many months that we have met through computer screens, and I too would like someday for us to meet in person. And I am deeply honored by all of the work that has gone into not only the nomination, but for granting me this award. You know, I learned long ago that one of the most gratifying things in an individual's life is to be recognized by their community. And certainly family as well, but they're 2 completely different things. And so to be recognized by you, by the chamber, by the community in which we all work is truly an honor. And I'm very proud to accept the award. And for that, I thank you. My role is really not much different from anybody else in our community. We've all had to live through the past year. All of us do different things to help us get through. I absolutely love what I do. I couldn't be honored more than to get an award for loving what I do. But I'm sure that's true of so many people, not only the recipients of today's ceremony, but almost everybody in the community. You know, there's an old saying that it takes a village. And believe me, I am very, very proud to be part of that village that is getting us through 2020. But let me say something on a scientific side. I want to echo what Terry said in the beginning, and I would not have said this 6 months ago. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. All of us, not just science, but all of us in this community have to be extremely proud of what we have achieved, what we have accomplished. In the past 10, 11 months, this never has happened before, either in the fields of science, the fields of education, the fields of business. All of us have pulled together. We can see the end of this coming. We have several game changers that are ready to drop. And so I echo what Terry said. I thank you so very, very much for letting me be part of it. Truly an honor to accept this award. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Joseph. That was incredible. And thank you, Mayor Clarkson, our Educator of the Year, Dr. Patrick Joseph. Please raise a glass to Dr. Joseph. And you know what? I mean, I got nothing after that. But other than to say, I really want to just raise a glass to all educators, right? Because they are doing absolute yeoman's work right now. Teaching in a COVID environment has got to be one of the most difficult things to do, period. So we've already toasted parents because we know all the extended role that they play. But here's to all educators in our community for doing what they do day in and day out. This is a rough year, and we are getting kids through this. We're getting all people who need education through this. So Dr. Joseph, thank you for your contributions. Mr. Mayor, I've been on a couple of your mayor's breakfasts and have listened to Dr. Joseph, and you just bring sanity to this whole issue. So I appreciate your perspective. Cheers. Simulated, by the way, simulated. All right. I think we're doing okay on time. Well, no, actually, we got to start screaming through this, don't we? All right. We're going to move on to Employees of the Year. And this year, it is a little bit different. And I think hopefully you will indulge us because it is employees, plural, of the year. And this year, the award goes to all essential workers. And to basically honor them, I want to bring in several people in our city who have, by virtue of their industry, have done amazing work and would like to sort of give tribute and honor to the people who are essential workers. So the first person I'd like to bring up is Ann Lucina, who is the CEO and amazing voice, by the way, you should hear her sing if you haven't, of San Ramon Regional Medical Center to give our first presentation. Ann?
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Stu. Kathy. As Terry mentioned, I'm the CEO of San Ramon Regional Medical Center, our local community hospital that just turned 30 this year, actually. The COVID pandemic has really cast a dark cloud on all of our lives. And one of the brightest rays of light has been the amazing stories of heroism, dedication, and compassion of our essential workers. This year, our community has really recognized and rallied around our healthcare personnel, our first responders, and all of the essential workers for the amazing work they do and for the crucial services they provide day and night, every day of the year. This year, our hospital workers have confronted really difficult situations. They've comforted their patients even when they themselves were dealing with the unknown. They've worked harder than ever, even when they were already so tired. They've adapted to the constantly changing guidance and to protect our hospital and our patients in unprecedented situations. And they showed up day after day with a positive attitude in spite of it all. Their courage, dedication, and perseverance has been truly inspiring. I'm eternally grateful to all of our hospital team members, all of the healthcare personnel in our community, and all of the first responders and all of the essential workers for the tremendous efforts they've exerted this year and the huge sacrifices they've made to keep our community safe. On behalf of San Ramon Regional Medical Center, I just want to congratulate all the essential workers, and I want to thank the San Ramon Chamber of Commerce for recognizing these amazing individuals with this award. I truly cannot think of a more deserving group. Thank you.
Next up, we have, well, I thought it was going to be Paige Meyer, who is the chief of the San Ramon Valley Fire Protection District, but apparently Chief Meyer had something a little more important to do. So, Paige, you're dead to me. Just kidding, I love you. Craig Stevens, our Chief of Police, San Ramon Police Department. Craig, Chief Stevens, take it away.
Thank you, Terry. And as a someone who enjoys a dirty martini, I am feeling a little left out right now. But considering I'm at work at the police department and in uniform, it probably would be frowned upon. But I'm glad that you and Stuart are enjoying yourselves. And I would like to just echo some comments made by some previous speakers and to say congratulations to all of the award recipients tonight. Everyone is extremely deserving. And then also thank the Chamber. I know that it's been a challenging year, but the fact that the Chamber is able to still acknowledge and recognize some really valued members of our community. Thank you for doing that. And I think it's pretty special that the Chamber has decided to really recognize a number of people who have just done amazing work throughout this year. Our hospital workers, our essential workers, and our first responders. I think it's pretty special that we're honoring a lot of people. Man, it was great hearing from you, and I think we're all just owe a debt of gratitude to your staff for what you guys have done for our community the past 7-8 months. It's just been exceptional. Special thank you to all of our essential workers who are making sure that all of us are still living our lives as normal as to be expected. And then, of course, we're privileged that as first responders that we're being recognized as well. Our public safety partners in the fire department, I know they've had a tremendously, challenging year with not just the pandemic, but, it's been a extremely difficult fire season that I know that many of their staff were involved in that. So special thank you to them. And on behalf of the police department, I couldn't be any more proud of our women and men that are serving our community. It's not been the easiest of years for law enforcement either. However, our team has continued to serve with a dedication to duty, professionalism, and a true sense of community. And, I feel fortunate to have the staff. And frankly, I think our community really should feel fortunate for the people that we have representing the police department that are doing this career for the right reasons. So again, thank you to the Chamber for recognizing all of the people that have made such a huge difference so far this year. We really appreciate it.
Right on. Thanks, Chief. Well said. Kathy Hyman, City of San Ramon, you're up next.
Wonderful. Thank you, Terry. Well, I want to say when you think about essential service workers, you usually think about the doctors, the police, the firefighters. But in addition to that group, we need to add Parks and Community Services, who from the start of the pandemic pivoted and leapt into action to support our seniors, who under the stay-at-home orders were isolated, scared, and in some cases all alone. The Parks and Community Services Department did all kinds of things, like set up a senior hotline to provide a place for seniors to get information talking to a real live person. They coordinated delivery and pickup of county-provided meal packs to an average of 120 seniors a week for a grand total of over 23,000 meals since the beginning of the pandemic. They made welfare calls to isolated seniors so they could hear a friendly voice and know that somebody cared about them. They collected donations from the community of paper goods and food and then redistributed it to seniors in need. And in addition to supporting the seniors, They partnered with the county to collect PPE for redistribution to hospitals and healthcare workers. They created summer programs that fit those county guidelines so that kids could be kids a little bit this summer and play and interact in real time and not just on video. They found ways to actually start up lap swim that fit the county guidelines and serve not only San Ramon, but the greater Bay Area with over 2,100 swims a week in the middle of summer. They set up essential service worker childcare for city staff so parents could go to work and kids could still do virtual school. And they also even set up a virtual rec center. So with tons of activities to do and put on a series of virtual events so that families could stay connected and engage. And I think most recently, as many of you know, they set up both Halloween and holiday programs that were allowed socially distanced participation. So for all of that and more, I want to thank all of the Parks and Community Services staff for pivoting, thinking outside the box, and for supporting the community through this very, very difficult period of time. And I want to thank the Chamber of Commerce for taking the time to recognize essential service workers and specifically the Parks and Community Services Department. Thank you so much.
Great, thanks, Kathy. Parks are life, right? Thank you to the Parks and Community Services Department for all that you do for the San Ramon community, particularly for our seniors during this time. So, Maria Ferner, you are next. Can you please give us your thoughts?
Yes, hi, thank you everyone. Good evening. And a Public Works Department, that is another aspect of essential services that really we don't think about because it is all behind the scenes, but very important because we want to keep our citizens and residents comfortable and at ease as they are using all of our public facilities, our infrastructure, and our amenities. So the Public Works Department is very thankful for this recognition. We did a number of things throughout this pandemic period, and that included signing our parks, playgrounds, trails, our sports fields, and closing them when directed by the county order. We've also continued to maintain the city as our citizens were sheltered in place and used our parks, our trails, and our roads. We've been ensuring our staff and contractors were also following all the COVID-19 response protocol as they perform their essential work around our residents and on our public right-of-way. We've also been implementing a number of disinfecting and social distancing measures in the offices, our corporation yards, and the field. And we've been staying on top of changes to the order, responding quickly with new signage, regular disinfecting of open amenities, such as our playgrounds, and responding to questions and concerns received from the residents. So our over 100 employees in the Public Works Department worked very hard to make sure that we could do these things behind the scenes and keep our citizens and community safe during this period of time. So I'm very grateful to be recognized for this, and we hope we did well, and the Public Works Department will continue to strive to do our best. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Maria. And thanks to all of our presenters. Thank you to all of our city workers, our hospital workers, our police and fire, our emergency personnel, all of you who do amazing work every day as essential workers. Stuart, come join me, please, and a toast to all of our essential workers in the city and beyond for all that they do. And you know that the governor basically instituted another shelter in place order today. And so as of Monday, I'm sure people are going to be, we're going to have a lot more essential workers who are going to be out there in front of people doing things and putting themselves at risk. So essential workers, thank you for all that you do.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Good job.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Simulated, by the way. All right. And thank you to our presenters. Your words are very heartfelt, and hopefully all of the employees who are under your direction know it and feel it every day. All right, next up, we have our Teen Citizen of the Year. Stuart, I think this is a newer award, isn't it?
It is.
Yes.
We had it a couple years.
Okay, a couple of years now. I should have known this, doing this for the last 10. Our Teen Citizen of the Year. And to present that award, I would like to welcome the lovely and talented Will Derlich and the lovely and talented Amrita Ramesh. Take it away. Will, why don't you go first?
Well, that's lovelier and more talented, but that's okay. Thank you, Terry. I am Will Dorlick. I'm the broker and CEO of Realty One Group today. We serve the Tri-Valley, the East Bay, and beyond. And it's a special privilege to be sponsoring the 2020 San Ramon Chamber Outstanding Teen Award as chosen by the San Ramon Teen Council. You know, what a great event recognizing the change agents that have taken 2020, a year that has put us on our heads, spun us around in a twister of events, and we can't even say there's no place like home because we're tired of home. But just hang on a little bit longer because we are going to get through this. But these people have still excelled even through these times. So I'm going to let Amrita Ramesh, who is our 2020 Teen Council Chair, provide background on the Teen Council and the marketing nominations and selection of the Teen Award winner. And then I'll be back to present the award.
Thank you. So the Teen Council is very proud to present our Outstanding Teen Citizen of the Year award. The purpose of this award is to recognize the outstanding work done by teens for our San Ramon community. This year, thus far, has had the largest and most competitive applicant pool with 24 applicants. After reading through the 2 essays that the applicants wrote and letter of recommendations, within a small group of teen council members, I can proudly say that San Ramon teens have truly been exceptional at giving back to our community in 2020, especially when we need it the most. Despite the stellar competition, all the teen council members involved in the award selection process agree that there was a clear frontrunner. I'll now pass this over to Mr. Dorlick to present the award.
Right. Thank you, Chair Ramesh. So Realty One Group today is honored to be the contributing sponsor of the San Ramon Outstanding Teen Award, providing an award for our recipient, Vishka Aurora.
Thank you so much to Mr. Durlick and Mr. Ramesh for presenting you with this award. I would just like to thank all of the amazing people that I've had the honor of working with over the past couple of years. First and foremost, Mr. Spain, one of my school's vice principals, for providing me with opportunities to help San Ramon and working closely with me over the past 3 years to get my projects off the ground and actually scale them. Mr. Powell, for your unwavering support and encouraging words. My club advisor, Mrs. Acefa, for continuously supporting me since my freshman year and always being there to share my excitement about my projects. My school district and my school child nutrition administration, Mr. Villarreal, Ms. White, Ms. Jays, Ms. Curry, for working with me to turn my lunch pre-ordering system into a reality. The district's technology department for providing me technical approval for all of my projects. My computer science teacher, Mr. Vudzide, for giving me the opportunity to participate in Samsung Solve for Tomorrow competition and the entire Samsung Solve team. The city of San Ramon for providing me with the opportunity to win this amazing award, and the Teen Council for selecting me. And lastly, just my family for being there with me throughout my high school journey, whether it be brainstorming, letting me pursue the things that I love to do, or simply providing excellent home-cooked food. I know that this award will only serve to motivate me to continue helping others and giving back as I head into college and beyond. And I'm extremely grateful for the support that this city has and will continue to give me in my future endeavors. Thank you for this award.
All right. Thank you so much. And congratulations to you. And a special thanks, as you said, to your family and your parents for the support and encouragement that they have provided. You know, these accomplishments don't occur in a vacuum or alone. There's always others in the background providing strength, insight, and a safety net that recognizes the effort that's required for success. So well done.
Yes, well done. Thank you so much, Vishak. That was amazing, and congratulations to you for all that you contribute to our community. You know, I always say that the community that truly embraces its young people is a vital and vibrant community, and San Ramon is like no other in that regard. So kudos to the Chamber for recognizing Vishak and all of his accomplishments, and for understanding the importance of recognizing young people in our community, because they're not the future, they are the they're the today, they're the now. So we truly embrace this, and wish you nothing but good luck and congratulations. And I think you're in your senior year. I'm not quite positive, but good luck this year, Vishak, and at Doherty Valley High School, and for everything that's to come for you. So congratulations. All right, we have next up one more, and this is the coup de grace. This is the one that we've all been waiting for, and congratulations to all of our recipients, and we're going to raise a glass to all of them in just a moment. But right now we have the honor of recognizing San Ramon's Citizen of the Year. And to present that award, it is my honor and privilege to bring to the Zoom call last year's recipient and very deserving of this award, Rachel Hurd. Rachel, take it away.
Thank you so much, Terry. Nearly a decade ago, Mitchell Hobson and his wife and 4 children relocated to San Ramon from Fairfax, Virginia. Mitchell soon got involved with the Diablo Black Men's Group. He went through the Leadership San Ramon Valley program in 2014-15, and he joined our board of directors the following year. Following some very unfortunate incidents of hate speech on our local school campuses, Mitchell initiated conversations with local leaders and founded the San Ramon Valley Diversity Coalition, which is a non-political grassroots community group that focuses on diversity, equity, and inclusion at the local level. Mitchell's efforts to bring people together to really listen and learn from each other have been instrumental in our community beginning to confront difficult conversations. An advantage of this event being held virtually is that Mitchell's extended family back in Michigan and Virginia, as well as his neighbors in the Bollinger Canyon Hills, are able to join us tonight in celebrating the Chamber's very timely choice of Mitchell Hobson as the 2020 Citizen of the Year. Congratulations, Mitchell.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. Thank you to the San Ramon Chamber of Commerce for this great honor, being the 2020 Citizen of the Year. I am truly humbled by this honor and would like to acknowledge all the people, my friends, family, mentors, peers, colleagues, and neighbors that have supported me through the years. I would also like to give a special thanks to my wife, Marisha, and our kids, Rick, Simone, Miles, and Cole, for allowing me the time and space to participate in the various community organizations, activity, and events that I do interact with. As Rachel said, I do have family in Michigan, Virginia, and Indiana that are watching us today. I hopefully have some other friends throughout the nation. I've sent a lot of texts out to ask them to watch and share with me in this moment. As a father of 4 young people, especially 3 young Black men, I'm very concerned about their safety and their welfare as they interact with the world. Although we live in a very affluent, safe, and clean suburb, there's still racism, there's still prejudice, and there's still discrimination here that we face. Therefore, I feel like it's my responsibility to ensure that my kids, all of our kids, are treated fairly and have a positive experience and opportunity to thrive. That is why I'm motivated to be active and visible in our community. I live in a community where there are not a lot of African-American people or families, and so I feel as though I need to be part of the community, part of the solution, and part of the conversation as this community moves forward. With that being said, I would love to acknowledge 3 organizations. I'd like to say thank you to the members of the Diablo Black Men's Group for giving me and my family a home away from home. They have given us a Black community to feel comfortable in and to network and to break bread with. They've welcomed the Hobson clan from the first day we arrived in the area. I would like to say thank you to the board and participants of San Ramon Valley, Leadership San Ramon Valley, for teaching me that a healthy community, great schools, and a thriving city takes a lot of hard work and a lot of dedicated people. I would like to say thank you to the San Ramon Diversity Coalition for allowing me the opportunity to lead them for the last 3 years, and more importantly, for being deliberate and intentional about the values of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And lastly, thank you for San Ramon Chamber of Commerce for this honor. I am really appreciative, and I want to say thank you.
Congratulations, Mitchell. Very well deserved. And thank you again to the Diablo Black Men's Group for their vital partnership to this community for a long, long time now. So congratulations to you. Cheers, my friend. Stuart, come on over.
Thank you, Terry. Excellent job. Thank
Yeah,
you.
so that wraps up our community awards. So we want to just give a shout out to all of our award recipients tonight for the amazing work that they have done in our community in serving not just the business community, but the community at large, right? And that's why we exist.
Thank you, Terry. Really appreciate everything you do. Thank you to all of our recipients, all of our presenters today. Thank you, Jody and Amos Productions, for doing a fantastic job. And everyone, be safe, be healthy, and we'll get through this together. And 2021, here we come.
Here we come.
Thank you so much.
Happy holidays. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you.